Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a very special live stream. Today we'll be playing Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. We're all excited for Donkey Kong Bananza, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are playing the Donkey Kong Country games to prepare. But, considering this is the first game Group 8 ever made, how fitting! Everything comes full circle. We got the DK bongos, we're playing the game as originally intended, although the Wii version's actually pretty good. I'm doing a full review of it, but yeah, this is going to be a more casual stream where we aim to get all of the platinum crests. It's a very hard thing to accomplish, but yeah, let's begin. Hello, Joe the Show, good to see ya. Now, one thing is that you can't have separate save files, but I already got the platinum here. But it's a good way to showcase the first level of the game. So, the controls are controlled with bongos. So, I'll show you how you do that. To move, just tap, collect bananas. You can clap. So, literally slap, 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 clap, clap, clap. Or you could just do this, hit the side of the bongos, it has the same effect. Oh, nice! I don't have a Costco membership, but that is good information to know. But you would think that it would just be like Donkey Kong Country, but played with bongos, but there's so much more to it. It is a very noisy game. If you live with other people, these things will rock the house. So I'd recommend playing it at 3 AM when everyone's trying to sleep. Yep, this is real hardware. I'm using my capture card with my GameCube. It is direct capture. It is widescreen, but the native resolution is not supposed to be. This is intentional right here, what I'm about to... Oh, that's weird. I was supposed to just, like, get them. I can definitely get gold. It's platinum that's hard to do. Actually, I'm gonna just adjust the sensitivity of the clap. Hello, Melissa. Good to see ya. Yeah, I think we'll do automatic. Or maybe manual. Let's see how that works. Okay, this works pretty well. There we go. These bongos are supposed to be loud. That's what bongos are for. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where he lives at the Krusty Krab and then says he's gonna play his drums and annoy Squidward with it. I don't know why it reminded me of that, but Soshi, do you get that reference? Yeah, what you want to do is you want to grab all of the bananas like that in the air, because you can get some ridiculous combos. I think the settings they were at before might have been better. New Digs is an interesting episode. Very underrated. Hello, Marcus. Good to see ya. I can clearly say with confidence that there is no other game like Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. You don't really have many games that you play with the bongos, let alone a platformer. I was thinking Donkey Konga would be pretty funny to do. I'm not sure if there would be copyright issues since the music's copyrighted in the game. They're all covers, so it's not like the actual song. Though the quality isn't high when playing on a non-HD console, well, yeah, it's authentic hardware. Let's go, Rambi! Great adventures await! Have they really done anything with Taiko outside of, like, some slight RPGs or rhythm games? I don't think they've made other Taiko games. I think the clap was better what it was before. Do automatic. I actually saw a short showcasing the internals of the DK bongos, and it's essentially like the triggers where they're analog, so I think Nintendo had the idea we could make this into an instrument. You can just tap like this, but it's the most fun just to go wild like that. Actually, can you clap just by screaming? Ah! 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 Let's see. Banana! Alright, I got an idea.
Banana slammer! Little buddy! Got any banana cream pie?
Talking actually works! I think this was before the era of streaming. Alright. This definitely has to be adjusted. Alright, does it pick up the talking? Clapping? There we go. There we go. I kind of messed up there. Yes and no VS Laser. I think what they could do... No. Still picks up talking. That's one thing I did not know that this could do. Alright, how about now? There we go. Alright, let's see. Did this fix it? Did this fix it? Yeah, I think it did. Because usually when I play this, it's just on my own time. Where I'm not streaming it. There is a version for the Wii, the new Play Control version. They could do that. They did that with Pikmin 1 and 2, so they could do it for Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. It wouldn't be the same experience as a game with the bongos, but it's still a really solid time. And it would showcase just the history of Group 8's first Donkey Kong game. There are a lot of pig enemies. Especially in the first world. Yeah, I mean, what they could do is they could literally just use the new Play Control version. The Joy-Con 2s and the original Joy-Cons are capable of emulating the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. Is Jungle Beat on the Wii suckish? Well, I don't want to spoil too much considering I'm doing a full review of this game. But I will say, you can't go wrong with either the GameCube or the Wii version. If anything, it's a fascinating history lesson for the Donkey Kong series. Look how satisfying it is to pull off those combos. Now, if I ever were to stream Donkey Konga, I'm not sure if there would be any input lag, and considering it's a rhythm game, you do not want the input lag. That's what I was trying to accomplish. There we go. And then there are a few more bananas over there. There are two of them in the Wii version, but one of them's just a boss rush and the other is just a banana paradise. Look at this! Look at Donkey Kong's facial expressions here. Look at him when he sees the bananas. That is very much like Donkey Kong Bananza. I love to see it return. You can kind of see that with the original Donkey Kong design, they did everything they could to make him expressive, but the original design was just like... there were limitations to it. Then again, the game was probably crap without him. No, I think the bongos would have been much better for Barrel Blast. I think Jungle Beat has its own merits, but that game definitely needed the bongos. I don't get it, because the Wii had GameCube compatibility. They could have added the option to use the bongos. Why not just include it? Yet again, this is Nintendo we're talking about, who just loves straight line cart. DK's... Yes! That was actually me in the Nintendo Direct. That was my idea. I was like, hey, we don't have many games this year. Let's cover Donkey Kong's facial expressions. Oh, banana. It's like Bananza with the Rare design. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's actually why they redesigned him. They did an interview talking about why they redesigned Donkey Kong, and it's because in Jungle Beat, they just weren't able to be as expressive with Donkey Kong. Nintendo's been obsessed with Donkey Kong's facial expressions. This one is like one of the most fun combos to pull off. So you go to this flying squirrel right here. I'm gonna try something with this. It's hard to pull off, but it's really cool. So what we want to do is go to this one. Oh, that didn't work. My idea still can work, though. So just ground pound there. As long as you're airborne, you can keep the combos. So the more combos you rack up, it multiplies the amount of bananas you can get. Like you can see, I am getting a ton of them. I prefer the Wii version of Jungle Beat because of level design and progression. It's better than the GameCube one. I could see either preference, whether you prefer the GameCube one or the Wii one. It really just comes down to preference. But yeah, this game was definitely designed originally around the DK bongos. So to have like the original intended experience, I would highly recommend playing the original. But you still can't go wrong with the Wii version. I haven't noticed that. But the Mario Kart DS models were pretty... They're pretty dated. Except for Rob. Rob, oddly enough, looks fine to this day. Yet again, was he in another Mario Kart game to compare it to? Oh no, that didn't work. Usually that does. I'm convinced Donkey Kong Barrel Blast was made with a... Yeah, it was. It was going to be a GameCube game. Ubisoft wants you to destroy your games. Is that true? Or was that just, like, clickbait? Alright, this should work. You always gotta be on guard. Now, if you just miss the cliff, it's actually real? I'm not surprised, but at the same time, wow. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Right there, we already got the platinum rank. That's how you do it. Also, WarioWare smooth moves. Well, there is Smash, yeah. But he hasn't been in a cart in a long time. Father, when can I leave to be on my own? The most dry vanilla version. Now, what this game did before Bananza is the main villains are the evil Kongs. They're technically the evil kings, but the Kongs are the most interesting. Originally, this was just going to be a boss fight between Donkey Kong and his clone, Dark Donkey Kong, but then they made him into the actual character that is Dread Kong. It does sound like that. Roll, roll, ho, ho, ho! Oh, nice, Chicken Man. I'm excited to give you the Polterpup amiibo. You're going to be very happy with it. Now, the Wii version is a lot more punishing if you get hit by bosses, but here it doesn't really matter. And we did it! We got the platinum rank, and we beat Dread Kong. So have you guys played Donkey Kong Jungle Beat before? It's a really interesting game. I think what we're going to do for this stream is we're going to do like the main First Kingdoms in the D-Barrel. Rob is in another Mario Kart, now you're just driving him. Yeah, you only lose like 10 bananas. Gives you these hint videos, but it doesn't say exactly what to do, but they did change that in the Wii version. This one's really hard to get a platinum ranking in. Remember Rambi? Say hi to Wolf or Who for the Wildebeest instead.
I like my toasted wildebeest with cinnamon.
So she gets our reference. It's interesting how there's like no Donkey Kong Country influence in this game outside of the remix of Jungle Hijinks. I don't know what just happened there. We're the Buffalo Gals! Sit down! This game could be a workout. But you definitely want to get all those bananas. This is the pinnacle of the GameCube era. This is exactly what it stands for. Demeech, these high resolutions are 1080p. What are your thoughts about them? I mean, 4K games look great. I think 1080p oftentimes looks good too. Really? That's an interesting pick for your favorite Donkey Kong game. I think my favorite's still Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, but this is a very underrated game. Alright. I got an idea. Okay, that did not work like I expected. The Iguanodon enemies, it does remind me of a Pikmin enemy. Yet again, I'm sure that some of the people who worked on Pikmin also worked on Jungle Beat. Miyamoto was involved with this game, so there's definitely that. Sit down! Yes, the act of actually playing this is hilarious. No other game like it. I also love when you get to the enemies, Donkey Kong will just beat the crap out of them, like this. This was the first game rated E10. I can see why. Although I don't think that this game was responsible for it. I think they just probably had that idea in general to make E10 an actual rating. You don't get a lot with them, but you still can rack up some combos. You just gotta time it right. I always thought the GameCube stood for being the reason why every Nintendo hater makes fun of Nintendo. I don't think that would be the GameCube. That would probably be like the Wii U or something. I believe so. You need a GameCube adapter, but you could probably play it with the bongos. That's the way to do it. So if you don't have a GameCube, or you don't have a Wii, do you have an issue with just normal bongo taps causing accidental claps? Because I got a pair off eBay. You just gotta adjust the settings, because when I was talking during the stream, that picked up as claps. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, they've aired Fairly Odd Parents on Disney in Europe. It's not unheard of. Yeah, these are the other bosses in the game. Chicken? We hate chickens! The sound design is very similar to Galaxy. Made by the same team, so it makes sense. Evening, Nico, how are you? The bosses can range from really easy to sometimes really challenging. I will say, Group 8 has never had bosses as their specialty. Occasionally you would see cool bosses in some 3D Mario games. The one that comes to mind is Super Mario Galaxy 2. Also Super Mario Sunshine, even though that wasn't Group 8. But oftentimes it's just 3 hits, boom. Nico, do you want to join the stream? You're more than welcome to join. I do not watch WWE. GameCube era had a lot of experimental weird games that no other generation have pulled off yet. Nintendo Switch has some very creative games, but at the same time, you don't see stuff like this too often anymore. And even then, is something like Mario Kart Live Home Circuit really as crazy as a platformer with bongos? I don't think so. But even then, I did find Mario Kart Live Home Circuit to be a good time. It just doesn't have that much depth to it, but again, not really to be expected. Oh, you're at your grandma's? Yeah, by all means, spend time with your family. Family first, man. But yeah, thank you once again for just letting me know. Now to meet you, I adjusted the settings to the absolute lowest. Maybe you have to do it to the highest. That worked for me. I mean, there's going to be some influence from Jungle Beat and Bonanza. I already see it. You definitely see it in terms of how expressive Donkey Kong is and just how creative the game is. Everybody wants K. Rool to be in the game, but I would not expect K. Rool to be in the game. There's still part of me that's like, this is an EPD Group 8 production. They like to do their own thing. It should be on Switch Online. How much would you bet there's a Nintendo Direct this week? You never can tell with Nintendo. I've heard the rumors about it, but I don't know if it's actually going to happen. What I'm assuming is that they're probably going to do something after Bonanza, because we don't really know what's in store outside of Pokemon Legends Zaza. So there's still a lot to reveal. The release date of Metroid Prime 4, we still don't know that. Yeah, I played it once. Yeah, this game is great. Well, King K. Rool was like the main villain of the series. It'd be like if Bowser was in all the Mario games and then just stopped showing up. And then he never appeared for like over 2 decades. I can definitely see why people want him back. And also, he was just the best Donkey Kong villain. The only ones that came close are maybe Lord Frederick and the Snowmads, and then the Evil Kings and Jungle Beat. That's pretty much it. I don't think the Tiki Tak tribe even hold a candle to K. Rool. And that's not just a reptilian bias either. K. Rool's just a better villain. I think if you do this perfectly, you can literally just keep the combo going. Let me try doing that again. We might hear more about them. They might be like spring 2026 games. I'm surprised Nintendo announced them as far out as they did. That's not something Nintendo tends to do anymore. And after the reveal of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond back in 2017, I can see why. That's what I was trying to do right there. Damn! The sad thing is none of the DK villains since K. Rool have had dialogue, so I don't have a chance with character. Voidco are the first DK villains to have dialogue since K. Rool. Yeah, K. Rool is definitely peak villain design. Who are our top 5 Mario reptiles? Does Spike count as one? I think that Donkey Kong has the opposite problem of Mario, where we want new villains, and all we get is Bowser. But for Donkey Kong, we want K. Rool to return, and what we get is a bunch of new villains. To varying degrees of success. I would say Spike, Koopa Troopa. Do we count bosses? That's what I was trying to do right there. And those flowers right there in the Wii version, they only act as 1-ups. Okay, so I didn't do it perfectly, but at the same time, I still did it pretty well. Finally, a good Donkey Kong game! Joshi, you were posting about Halloween decorations in the summer. I don't want to hear it from you. But you're right, this is a good Donkey Kong game. But knowing you, I'm assuming you think Bonanza is not good. Which version do you prefer, Josh? Do you prefer the Wii version or the GameCube one? That's going to be a common question throughout this stream. If you want to join the Discord call, you're more than welcome to, Joshy. I'll try. I want to know if my bongos are defective, but that seems like a weird defect to clap sensor that works too well. Nintendo hardware was robust. I mean, it still can be. Did you notice that they take the eating animation and used it in Donkey Kong Bananza? They also use the one where Donkey Kong sticks his tongue out, like when he sees bananas. You know, this one? Except this time around, since they're using like their own design where they can make him expressive, there's no limitations. Like I said, I'm gonna definitely touch on everything in my full review, but looking at Donkey Kong here, it's the best iteration of him thus far. Bananza's iteration will be the best, but still, with the original design, this is my favorite. Tropical Freeze does come kind of close though, I will say that. I will agree with you there, I think that the fur in Bananza looks more like feathers than fur. But really that's like one of my few gripes with the game. What would you rather have? Donkey Kong's fur look like feathers, or have tracks be straight lines? And then you can just clap the environments, make the flowers bloom. You can definitely tell that there was some Pikmin or influence too. It is kind of weird that it does look like feathers. I don't know what exactly they were going for there. He's a gorilla, he's not a bird. And by the way, Group 8 hates birds. Straight lines that have tons going on. Some of them, yeah. But I will say the most interesting pathways are still not as interesting as the best tracks, or even the weakest tracks. Does that mean that Donkey Kong can join the Feather Friends, Soshi? Would you join the Feather Friends? Yeah, it's a little bit odd. It's odd, but at the same time, when you see it in motion, actually playing the game, it doesn't really look like feathers. It's like during the cutscenes and stuff, and when he gets the bananas. But I will agree, Jungle Beat definitely has the better fur texture. And another thing about Jungle Beat is that it's held up incredibly well, even 2 decades later. That goes to show that if you have a good art direction, it goes a long way. Take notes, Pokemon. Well, Cranky's old, that's why. It's such a weird game. Is this where Professor Chops originates from? Yeah, there are just some weird things that returned in Galaxy. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Why can't they just decide what design to go with? I thought Super Mario Odyssey's Mario design was perfect. They should have gone with that going forward. I think they did for Super Mario Party. A few other spin-offs too, but it was never consistent. I'm hoping with the new designs in Mario Kart World and Mario Wonder, they stick with those, just for consistency's sake. No, Dimitri, you're supposed to make the melon bounce by hitting the tree. Wait, the melon at the end of the level? You definitely have some weird bosses in this game. Why do both this games and the Galaxy have so many collectibles and bubbles, even when not underwater? There's always something new I'm learning every day with this game. Are there any other levels where I need to hit a tree with the watermelon? Really? I did not know that. Right now I'm too busy just beating up a fat pig with watermelons. Everything in the GameCube era was weird. What was really normal about it? Not even Mario Kart was normal. But that's what I love about it. I think the only normal Nintendo game throughout the GameCube era would probably be something like F-Zero GX. and Super Smash Bros. Melee, but that's kind of it. Mario Sunshine's a departure in some ways, although it's definitely better than Mario 64. Then we got Luigi's Mansion as a premier Mario game. That was so cool. I love how the Switch era, like, the latter half of it, it definitely brought back that GameCube era creativity. And obviously the green coconuts you hit back at enemies reduce or get reused. Yeah, I've seen them there. It's not completely normal. The cutscenes are pretty funny, but I also love them. That is my favorite GameCube game, by the way, F-Zero GX. It's one of the best racing games of all time. If you have Nintendo Switch Online, plus the expansion, you can play it on the Nintendo Switch too. I got my GameCube controller. And the thing is, GameCube games, as you're seeing here, have surprisingly held up insanely well. For the wait for Donkey Kong Bananza, I gotta be real, I was getting a little bit fatigued playing Mario Kart World non-stop. But with the GameCube games, I've been going back to Super Mario Strikers, and it's just as fresh and fun as it was when I first played it. GameCube games still really hold up super well. And Super Mario Strikers isn't even one of the most impressive GameCube games. It's kind of lacking a little bit in content. But other than that, the gameplay is just outstanding. And how they Mario-fied soccer, beautiful. F-Zero GX simply because it's a more full experience, but I do love AX as well. AX was my first F-Zero game. There was actually an arcade that had it near me, so I played the deluxe cabinet with the moving seats. I actually recently got to play it again back in March. I even brought my GameCube memory card to unlock the AX content. Opinions on King of Swing and Jungle Climber. They're interesting games, definitely some of the better Donkey Kong spin-offs. It's pretty much Clue Clue Land brought back, but with Donkey Kong. It was a good idea. How can you really market Clue Clue Land in 2004 and 2007? Unless it released in 2005. I haven't played DK King of Swing in a long time. I'm more of a Jungle Climber guy myself.
It's lacking in content that should be the standard.
Does Battle League actually have fans? All I remember is that people were defending the game when it released, as usual. But then once everything settled down, people don't like the game. So that's why there are only 2 Strikers games. One aspect of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is that it just does not have a core theme like the Donkey Kong Country games do. First game was themed around the jungle. Second game had the pirate theme. Third game had the Canada theme. But then you see Jungle Beat, and it's whatever the developers thought of would be a good idea. Though, they are some of the best at creating locations and stuff like that. All the dandelions. Does this game ever make you want to just make a TikTok of you eating a dandelion? Look! A dandelion! Oh, this guy is a real pain right here. Oh. Did I jinx it in reverse? No, I just jinxed it.
Anything in this world is eatable. Even I'm eatable.
But that is called cannibalism, and is in fact frowned upon in most societies. Why are all just the 2000s adaptations of beloved books, the adaptations are just always so unhinged? Thank you, Maximum Hugh, for the donation. Fanboy and Chum Chum is peak. Wow, and Mona. Fanboy and Chum Chum was not peak, though. That was a stupid show. Revisionist history might lead you to believe otherwise, but no. Kinda had my interest until they started speaking. It just seems so sterilized. That's what I don't like about the new Cat in the Hat. It's not as wild or crazy as the 2003 one. Yet again, I don't think anything could get to that level. I have not. I don't even know what Nickelodeon's up to nowadays. I know SpongeBob's still going on. They had that episode which was SpongeBob meets his past self. Was it good? I didn't see it. I was just turned off when I saw Patrick's new parents. Like, if you're gonna do a time travel thing, keep it to the source material. Get those bastards out. We don't need them. Yeah, a lot of countries just don't have Nickelodeon, and probably for the best. Although, was Cartoon Network really any better? You could say they were at one point in the early 2010s when they had things like Adventure Time, Regular Show. I even like Mad. Whether you like the show or not, you gotta give the show mad respect for only having one voice actor. It seems like a kind of show Soshi would watch on a lunch break or something. Oh, these things are so weird looking. They're actually moles. I thought they were caterpillars. Mad is just funny, ironically, in small doses. I found it funny. I actually found it funny, but what don't I find funny? I feel like I'm playing a mobile game ad here. Wow, Nintendo. Everyone says Nintendo can be behind the times, but this is ahead of their time. Pac-Man and Robin. I don't remember Cubo, but I did watch PBS. Chowder was good. They did have some good shows in the late 2000s, but they were few and far between. Hey Demeech, what do you think the next GameCube game will be, and what do you want it to be? I want it to be Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, but what I think it's going to be is Super Mario Sunshine. I wonder what the output's going to be like, because Nintendo can be notoriously slow to add games to Switch Online. I mean, I was definitely more of a Nickelodeon guy myself. But back when I was watching it, they had the Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob, the Triforce of Nicktoons. By the time I started watching Cartoon Network, that's when we started getting stuff like Fanboy and Chum Chum. So it was pretty much a retreat to actually good cartoons. Yeah, Nintendo was so proud of adding voice chat to the Nintendo Switch too. They acted like it was this big new thing, even though it was on the Wii U. Not as seamless as game chat, but come on, this has been a thing for years. It's a little bit embarrassing to watch. Wario World would be cool too. Now that I was not expecting there. I was not expecting that to happen. But hey, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, Tusk! And boom! Look at that! Oh, I spoke too soon. At this point, you can just throw it at him. It doesn't matter. Boom! There we go. Maybe it could be remapped to another button? You just imagine remapping the C button to clicking in the analog stick for Fortnite. Really, it's good. I thought the animation was bad, but I guess not. At least, yeah, Wii U's online was also free. Let's see what's going on here. Alright, just showing how to do a combo. Soshi shouldn't be leaving comments like that. Would you fingerprints? No, fingerprints! No, I wouldn't. What does that even mean? I know the joke, but what would that even mean? Thank you, Maximum Hugh! I do actually enjoy Fanboy and Chum Chum, but I respect your opinion. We're already at 3 super chats, let's keep them coming. Goal is almost going to be reached, we're almost halfway there. The animation is a bit weird and it does fluctuate, but it's overall good. That's good. We need some good cartoons. Is there anything good recently? I don't know. I've just been so tapped out of animation. I think after Velma, I never watched another cartoon again. Walmart is selling less physical media, and they got rid of the DVDs. Now, for stuff like movies, I kind of understand that because Netflix is just so easy to use, but you couldn't have that for games. They sort of tried that with Google Stadia, and we know how that turned out. I'm gonna see if it's possible to, like, go to the Hellabird. Oh, that was... They killed off the mom? How'd they do that? If you want to own everything, you need physical media. Like, this is a perfect example. I own Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, I'm playing it with the bongos. Sure, there's emulation and stuff, but you can't beat the original hardware, at least in my opinion. And this is a kind of game that you definitely want to play on the original hardware. Some games, like, if you were to just play Super Mario Sunshine on the Switch, it's not going to be that radical of a difference for the experience, but this... You couldn't just play this with button controls. Technically you can, believe it or not, but it's not as intuitive. When I first tried playing Donkey Konga with the GameCube controller, it was like one of the least fun experiences I've had with a game. But when I got the DK bongos, I was just jamming out. That would be a fun video to do. I would love to do a retrospective of Donkey Konga. Depending how well the one for Donkey Kong Jungle Beat does, I might consider doing Donkey Konga. That'd be really fun. It's a very weird series of games. And it's one of the few games that it got a T rating for lyrics. And what it consists of is like a bunch of outdated pop music. I probably could have gotten that B. Alright, where am I supposed to... How do I do the thing with the fruits? Where I hit it with the coconut to make it laugh. Alright, how do you do that? It doesn't? I wonder if it's been patched to use a GameCube controller for Switch Online. Now with this, I'm not sure how you'd even get all of them. Soshi the Yoshi, Holono's fingerprints. Does that answer your question? Was that if you asked, do you watch the Animaniacs? Yeah! I have both the new Play Control version and the original. Hello, Uncle Nick. Good to see ya. That is so obscure, even I don't remember it. The sound design in this game is unmatched. Oh wow, I actually achieved that? The combo wasn't as high as I expected. Oh, Mini Meech is dead. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Deluxe. I remember that. You know, considering the reception of World, I wouldn't be that surprised if people actually want Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Deluxe. I could see a lot of people going back to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but personally I'm so fatigued with Mario Kart 8, I don't want to go back. Regardless of World's problems, I'm just not interested in playing the game again and again and again. But I'm sure with due time I'll go back to it. Alright. What if I was covered in orange sauce? What is with these super chats and the unhinged comments? But I gotta say, keep them coming. What is that a reference to? It wasn't too long ago where we fought the first hog. One thing about this game is that the bosses can get repetitive. But they're so satisfying. What the heck is he doing there? Is he doing like a combination of ballet and karate? No, that was my fault there. Oh, it's Sitting Ducks. Is it like a new show? I know that there's one duck show made by Klasky Chupo. I've yet to see it. Reese, good to see ya! How are you, man? Am I able to summon you to the stream? Give you that little sub-pony to the stream? Why isn't Super Mario Bros. Wonder jokingly called Super Mario Bros. Zaza? Because Pokemon Legend Zaza is called Pokemon Legend Zaza because ZA sounds like Zaza. And Reese, congratulations! You have now become a channel member. Thank you, Reese, for becoming a channel member. You guys are more than welcome to join memberships too. For just $2 a month, you get access to exclusive streams, a shout out at the end of the video, and you help the videos keep on coming. Yeah! Let's go! Yeah, I think that is Duckman. Alright, I'm going to give Reese a call. That wasn't exactly my best performance with bananas, but I think I already got a pretty decent ranking on it before. Yeah, I did. Just because I did it once doesn't mean I can't do it again. Welcome, Reese. Welcome to the Zula Patrol. I think regular Sonic games are too much. Anytime. I'll become channel members for most of my friends. Like, I like to support channels that are my friends. Usually just channels like under 1,000 subscribers. Sometimes, it just depends. But yeah, we are going to have Reese. Alright, let's read some more comments. When I went to get a Wii U off eBay to play Splatoon 1 before the shutdown, I was lucky and I actually had the bundle system. Yeah! They did make bundles with Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon. Yeah! I played the Wii version, and when I make the review of this game, I will be covering it. Hey, can you hear me? I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I see you're playing Jungle Beat. I actually mentioned it on my video that I uploaded recently.
Yeah! I saw you posted a video about how it makes sense that this is the team making it. But yeah, you're gonna get to see some Jungle Beat in action.
Yeah, it's interesting, like, some of the, like, because this is the game that they made, like, right before Galaxy. Because I do see, like, some of the influence, like, sound effects and certain things in the art style that kind of carried over into Galaxy. It's very unique, but I can kind of see, like, those tiny little details. Almost kind of like how, like, certain things from, like, Galaxy 2 carried over into, like, 3D Land and different things. I feel like a lot of the things that EPD Tokyo makes kind of... You can kind of see the hints of the next game that they're gonna make in, like, the previous one.
Damn! I almost got him. I mean, even then, even 20 years later, you can still see that Jungle Beat influence in Donkey Kong Bananza. You can see how expressive Donkey Kong is.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've always liked how weird EPD Tokyo's character designs are. Like, either between this game, Galaxy, Odyssey, and now Bonanza. Like, they look just, like, really unique and interesting.
It's definitely the most creative division of Nintendo. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk because the bubble... Actually, probably should just restart that. Yeah, if you clap, it pops the bubble. Pop the bubble! Pop the bubble! Alright, I got an idea. Yeah, it does! I mean, it was their first game, and everything comes full circle eventually.
Yeah.
What's new with Nintendo? I heard something about a rumored direct. Of course.
Honestly, I feel like the more likely type of direct that we're gonna get this month is like something like a partner showcase, probably, because Nintendo really wants to push like third-party games on the system. So I'm thinking they might do that, like, because there were like some rumors about like certain like games and release dates happening soon, like for like Elden Ring and stuff like that. So I think that might happen, and then we could get like a general direct maybe in like September.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, things have been very different this year. I still think there is a possibility that we could get a general direct because, like, we got a direct, like, in March and April this time. So I feel like this year's schedule is, like, so much different.
But that's gaslighting, remember? Oh my gosh, that's so ridiculous. As if 2 directs is a bad thing.
Yeah.
Oh damn! What the hell was that? That can happen in Jungle Beats. Those enemies right there, those frog enemies, are the bane of my existence. But hey, live and learn.
The stream's kind of lagging. The stream is kind of lagging for me. I'm not sure if, it's just my internet or just
no, it's for Matthew too.
a problem. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, the quality is fine, but it just keeps, like, kind of lagging.
I wonder if it has to do with the bongos at all.
Also, have you ever sold stuff on eBay before? Because I've been starting to sell, like, some things recently, like some Pokemon cards.
Oh yeah, tons.
Pokemon cards sell quickly, I've noticed.
I got like a handful of them that I could sell. I don't collect.